Welcome to the Tuttle Kline Show.
Kevin Kline.
Tuttle, what's going on, Tuttle?
Not much. Can you hear me?
I can hear you and I can see you perfectly.
All right. I apologize for that then. Hey, Kev, I am now part of a very exclusive club, and I'm kind of excited about it.
Well, what club is that?
The tech gods not happy with me for whatever reason. I have no idea. Facebook and Instagram Sunday morning
Yes.
disabled me and kicked me off of their platforms with no explanation whatsoever.
You can't get on?
No, I'll show
You're
you.
banned?
Yeah, I'm banned.
What did you do?
They said community standards or something like that.
Really?
And I'm out. I'll show you the notices right here. But yeah, it was so weird. I was like, okay, what did I do? They sent me they said, well, click on here. You can dispute it. They wanted a picture of me.
Really?
So I sent them a picture of me and, I was like, why? And no explanation.
Are you sure it was from them and not a phishing attempt?
I can't get on.
Wow.
I can't get on there now. I got on our
Tuttle Kline one. Yeah.
Our Instagram one, to post on the story. And by the way, you should follow the Tuttle Kline Instagram and the Facebook, because at least in the near future, that's the only place that I will exist on this planet.
Yeah.
But it was a strange thing though yesterday, Kev. I'm going to check it, and I forget that I'm banned. I'm gone. And then about midday yesterday, I'm like, God, this is awesome. I absolutely love not having to check messages, not having to no comments to look at. I'm gone. And I love it.
Isn't it peaceful?
It's so peaceful. And, to the geeky little tech Nazi fascists, I know you think, oh, look at me. I'm big and strong. I can kick people off of platforms. First off, I don't give a fuck about your little platforms. Okay. I don't care. Second off, I don't give a shit how much money you have. You're a little fucking pencil neck, tiny dick geek, and you always will be. And that girl you're with right now, she's just with you for the money. When she sees big, strong, strapping dudes, she gets the tingly down below. And there's nothing that you can do about that, you little pencil neck, fascist, totalitarian, fascist, Nazi geek. Nothing you can do about it.
I believe Bob Seger said it properly about the women with the fire down below. They got the fire down below.
Now, sometimes it's not contagious.
I'm thinking the same thing, man.
and yeah, just one more thing to the little tech nerds.
Yes.
I'm on the right side of history. I'm on the right side of the good versus evil equation. You're on the wrong side of it. History is going to look very poorly upon you. Okay? Plus, you're facing eternal damnation for what you've done. Unless you repent for your sins and change your ways now. You're fucked.
Wow, he's going Westboro Church now. He's going to start protesting outside of funerals and shit.
Nah.
No, can you look back and think of anything that you might have posted that's not community standards?
The only thing I can think of, well, first off, I express my opinion,
yes.
Which they don't like.
Okay.
They hate people who express their opinion that doesn't go along with their totalitarian, fascist, communist platform and narrative.
Okay.
So I've been doing that for a while, so I've probably been on their hit list.
Yeah, but you've been doing it for a while. Why all of a sudden was the last straw?
Because they're looking for something. And I think when I posted on Saturday on the story, I posted, from our show about the bachelorette party.
Yeah.
That perhaps they may think that had crossed the line. And they're like, okay, now we got them.
Well,
possible. I don't know.
Hey, man, anything's possible. Yeah. But
But
I mean,
that's the lame, weak chicken shit thing about it too. Is I replied to their email. I was like, why?
and they never responded.
No, they won't. They don't have to.
We don't owe you an explanation, sir.
They're gods, Kev.
Yeah.
They're gods with big yachts
Yeah.
and eternal damnation.
Well, you could go to the truth social media, right? Because Trump doesn't kill anybody off of his site, does he?
Kev, I'm not in a hurry to do any of that shit.
I'm telling you, man, when I got rid of my phone, it was awesome for the 6 months that I didn't have one. And then, I had to get one for business purposes, but I still don't get on social media very much.
No, man. I mean, it's such a negative.
It's a cesspool.
It's a cesspool. I mean, people saying things to you or about you that they would never say to your face because I'd kick the fucking shit out of them.
Huh.
I know. Who needs it?
And that's one of my, if I'm ever going to comment on something, I always sit there and ask myself, would you say this to their face? 99% of the time I won't, so I don't comment.
Kev, and that has actually happened. I had somebody that was giving me some shit. It was after you had retired.
Okay.
And it was at that my last rodeo when I was with the station in 2022.
All right.
They were giving me some shit on social media, and I saw them in the NRG building. And I walked up to them and I said, "Hey, I know you." And they, Kev, just the look of fear in their eyes.
Yeah.
Just the look. And I was like, boy, you really dug into me there. You want to talk about it? Oh, I'm so sorry. I was in a bad frame of mind. Mm-hmm. I'd been drinking. Yeah, you fucking pussy.
Yeah.
You pussy.
And the thing is, though, and this is a perfect example, and you and I have actually talked about this on the podcast before, they might say shit about you, but when they meet you, or when you meet the person you're saying shit about,
yeah,
you've said it numerous times, you find out that the person that you're talking shit about is really a different person than what you've been told.
Say you absolutely hate Donald Trump.
Okay.
You've been taught to hate him. You've been brainwashed to hate him. You actually believe a lot of the bullshit that they've laid out on him. If you were ever in the same room with Donald Trump for 15 minutes, he would charm the pants off of you. You would love him.
Duh. You don't get to be that successful by not being charming.
Yeah.
I mean, his charm's a little different than ours.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a little coarse.
A little bit.
But people love that. And I don't care who you are. You could be the most dyed-in-the-wool, quote unquote, blue state, whatever. And you could have rants about him on your social media for the last 8 years and this, that, and the other. You're in the same room with him. You'll be smiling. You'll be like, "Hey, can I get a picture?" That's just how it is.
When George H.W. Bush was alive, every Houston marathon, he would sit out between mile 20 and 21 right in front of the big church there that we used to see out of our window on the 23rd floor of the tower. And he would pass out pretzels and wave to everybody and say hi. And what was the biggest criticism of his presidency? No new taxes.
No new taxes, and he raised taxes.
Right. You know what? When you meet him and he's just a kind grandpa, old man, you forget about that no new taxes and that he went back on that big promise. He was just very, very kind. Let anybody who wanted to get a picture with him. He showed you his socks. I mean, I had a conversation with him in the middle of a marathon. "Hey, what socks are you wearing today, Mr. President?"
Yeah. I mean, Kev, that's true of any. I mean, even if you're like, I'll go on the other side with it. Even if you're like, I absolutely cannot stand Barack Obama. That dude will charm your pants off in 15 seconds.
Yeah.
You literally will wait. "Hey, let me get the beer. I'm going to buy the beer."
Or he'd let P Diddy do it for you.
Oh,
wow. Oh.
Now, Kev, I'm glad you did that, because here's the thing. Here's the thing is, now more than ever, I am off the grid.
Uh-huh.
I am just complete. I mean, I don't look at news anymore. I don't have. I mean, I watch football and sports, and I know what's going on in sports and stuff like that. But that's really about it. So, every week I want you to do this. Tell me the thing or two that happened in the world in the past week that I may want to know or may need to know.
Oh, okay. Well, do you know about Hurricane Helene?
Yes, Helene, Florida.
Well, Florida, but North Carolina and Georgia actually had more damage than Florida. And here's why. Okay. Helene was one of the widest, one of the biggest, and one of the strongest hurricanes to hit. However, when you talk about Florida, they're used to that stuff, you know? So they take
Yeah.
preparations for it. This one was so big, it was actually a Category 1 hurricane when it got into Georgia just south of Atlanta. It was a tropical storm when it went into South Carolina, North Carolina. That's how big and strong this thing was. They weren't prepared for it because you really don't ever have to prepare for a hurricane when you're in that far inland.
Yes.
So there are a couple of North Carolina mountain cities that have been literally wiped off the map. And I want to say the death count is just over 50 now, with they don't know how many more because there could be bodies trapped under the rubble.
Hey, Kev, is it true? I did hear one thing, a smattering of conversation. Were there sharks and alligators in the streets, on Florida streets, swimming around? Because the streets were flooded, and people said they saw shark fins going down like Main Street, St. Petersburg.
That could very well be. I have not heard that, but I did see video footage that the 20-foot storm surge. Oh my gosh, man. It looked like an aquarium.
Really?
So yeah, I completely believe that sharks could have been up there.
Can you imagine that? You're minding your own business. You walk out to assess the damage. Obviously your house is a little bit higher than the street. That's what they do on these coastal towns. They put our houses just a little bit higher than the street because the street's supposed to be the river, and you see a shark right on your street, just the shark fin. Crazy.
Better get your phone.
Get your phone, and you might want to keep your dog on the porch.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. The other happenings that have been going on, obviously the election, then the P Diddy thing. Yeah, this is interesting with the P Diddy thing, because there are now two new Jane Does who have come out, and a Jane Doe is somebody who wants to remain anonymous, but who is kind of a witness. And two Jane Does have come out, and one says that there was a very prominent individual. They will not name names, but they say one of the most powerful and recognizable people in the world who was at one of these parties participating in pornographic videos. But the caveat here is they may not have known that they were being videotaped. So, but they say their face is completely recognizable. And so it kind of makes you wonder. And the rumors out there are that it could very well be one of the former presidents.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah.
I also heard about a drug dealer who was called to bring his cocaine. And when he walked in, he saw, you're not going to believe, there were several top of the line celebrity males having gay sex with each other right there.
Yeah,
right
there's I know the drug dealer that you're talking about. And yeah, he's his name is out there. And he said he was with, I think he said he was with P Diddy for 7 to 14 years, something like that. So yeah, he said he saw all of it. Said he saw all of it. So that is a sticky situation.
Pardon the pun.
Yeah, exactly. Well, right.
See, and the thing about Diddy, just like Epstein, he videoed everything. So there's video out there.
Yeah. Yep. So
which you'll never see.
No, you may not ever see Sean again.
Not that you want to see it anyway.
Right. Yeah. No.
But the death watch, Kev. I mean, they got people. They got over and unders on how long Diddy lasts.
Well, they had him on suicide watch.
Yeah,
suicide watch,
quote unquote. Yeah. So don't be surprised after we kill him.
Yeah. That came out the second day that he was incarcerated, and he was denied bail. They put him on, or the media had him under suicide watch. So
right. Yeah. All right. What else?
What else? This is kind of, I've been just stunned by this story since I read it last week. There is a guy who was educated in Oxford, got his medical degree at Harvard. Smart, right? Okay. He did an experiment, and he wanted to find out if the studies and the news reports are correct, that eggs will contribute to bad cholesterol levels in you. So here's what this guy did. For one whole month, 30 days, he ate 700 eggs. That's 24 a day.
Wow.
Okay. On top of that, he had 2 bananas and 1 cup of fresh blueberries. That's what he ate every day for 30 days. He lost weight. His good cholesterol elevated by 8 points, and his bad cholesterol dropped by 18 points.
Why do they say bad things about eggs then?
I don't know.
It's got to be. There's. I mean, who's involved with that? Like, let's flush the eggs, man. Is that like the peanut butter industry, or is that that like a competing industry? Are the poultry people are like, hey man, our numbers are down?
Well, it was the same thing with the keto diet. You know, it was all based on meat and fats, and people lost weight on that, which debunked a lot of the science. But and by the way, this guy was eating the yolks too, and he wasn't getting rid of those. And that's not why the cholesterol levels were different. He just,
I have at least 1 egg a day, sometimes 2.
Yeah. Well, if you increase that 22 more, you could drop your bad cholesterol levels and raise your good ones.
I can only imagine what he smelled like.
That's what Trish said.
I mean, he literally, you have to go, he would have to go to a public bathroom to go to the bathroom. Anybody living in his house would be like, hey man, yeah, go down there to the 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Anything else, Kev?
Astros clinched the West. You already know that.
Yes,
I know that the guy who won the National League batting title, it's his 3rd year in a row winning the batting title in his 3rd different team.
Witt.
No. National League. Ariza. Yeah.
Okay.
Minnesota, then Florida, and now San Diego. And the other thing about this is amazing is baseball is really crazy right now. Shohei Ohtani was 4 points away from winning the Triple Crown, would have been the first National League player to win the batting Triple Crown since 1927 when Joe Ducky Medwick did it for the St. Louis Cardinals.
He ended up with what, 54 home runs?
54 home runs, 58 stolen bases, and a .310 batting average.
Dude, the 50-50 is crazy.
Oh, that's nuts. That's insane, man.
I remember when Canseco got like the 30-30 or
30-30.
Yeah, the 30-30, and everybody was freaking out on that 50-50. Kev is the greatest player in the history of America's pastime. Is he a Japanese dude?
Right now, I would say he is. I mean, there's just nobody even near him in what he can do. And he's a two-way player. He only didn't pitch this year because of Tommy John surgery.
Anything else? What am I missing out on, Kev?
I believe that is about it, sir. Well, there are 3 disturbances that you guys need to be paying attention to.
What's that?
Hurricane activity.
Shit.
Yeah, there's one that could be forming. Well, it is forming right now in the same spot that Helene started.
Yeah, Kev, I hate to be conspiracy theory guy, but I'm going to throw this out here. I think they're whipping up these storms just so they can, have such destabilization in key states that they can get the mail-in vote thing going.
Oh, okay.
That's just a theory.
You can't disregard anything anymore.
Nothing, because anything that has been disregarded in the past has ended up being true.
National Enquirer. We always say it.
They actually
they were at the forefront, man.
Nobody ever has apologized to them, have they?
Nope.
Kev, I'm so proud of my son Dallas.
I know you are. You're all proud of all your kids.
Yeah, they're all fantastic. But Dallas this weekend, I had the weekend with the boys, and Dallas had a kind of a deep thought question for me.
He is a thinker.
And, being in 8th grade, I'm like, wow, okay, that's way ahead of here. What do you think of this? Is Louis Armstrong, remember him from What a Wonderful World?
Yeah.
What a wonderful world. Is he good or is he absolutely terrible, but nobody will say anything? Is that good singing?
Yeah, I thought the same thing about Joe Cocker. And then I started listening to more Joe Cocker. That guy could sing, man. He was good. So I think Louis probably he's good. Okay,
then I threw at Dallas, and he didn't know what I was talking about. He doesn't know him, but you will. I mean, and let me be the first to say it. I mean, somebody has to say it. As a singer, Bruce Springsteen fucking sucks, dude. He's terrible.
I've never been a fan.
That is bad, dude. I mean, people make fun of me for singing the way that he has made millions singing.
Yeah,
He's terrible.
You know what I learned last week on whatever channel he's on? Jason Garrett, former coach of the Dallas Cowboys, has seen Bruce Springsteen 94 times.
And I'll give you this. He's a great personality.
Huh?
You know, he's got that charm, that charisma, and they don't teach that in schools, Kev.
No, they do not.
He's got a great birthday, my birthday, September 23rd.
Is that right?
Yeah, him, me, and Jason Alexander from Seinfeld.
Wow.
Along with Ray Charles, but he's no longer with us.
Yeah, never saw that coming.
Good one, Kev. And Bruce Springsteen's a great songwriter.
Oh, awesome songwriter.
I mean, you know, I'm on fire. That's good. I mean, Blinded by the Light is genius.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, he had to have Manfred Mann step in and actually do it right. Because his version is shit. Manfred Mann killed that thing. But Kev, I mean, the lyrics, and Go-Kart Mozart was checking out the weather, trying to see if it was safe outside. And little Early Pearly gave my Enos curly whirly and asked me if I needed a ride. I mean, that's fucking brilliant, man.
That is. We don't know what it means, but man, it's awesome.
No clue where he's coming from, what that's all about. But damn, there's something that was floating around his head when he spit that out on the napkin.
That was great. Glory Days. He did Glory Days, right?
Yeah.
That's a great tune. Great tune. Great song.
Born in the USA. I mean, which is not a patriotic song. You know, people are like, yeah, America. I'm like, no, he's kind of ripping America there.
Yeah. So same thing that Macklemore, well, not to the degree that Macklemore did, but Macklemore is being canceled right now by a host of people.
What's going on with Macklemore? I didn't get this one.
You know who he is, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna pop some tags.
Yeah. He was doing a concert in his hometown of Seattle, and he said "F America" from the stage. Yeah, tough to recover from that.
Yeah, even in Seattle, which is, you know,
right.
The People's Republic of Washington there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not gonna bode well.
No,
Yeah.
Just move. If you don't like it, just move.
That's yeah.
I mean, it sounds like it's easy to do. It's not, but
well, if you're a big star with big money, I mean,
there you go.
You could buy yourself a nice penthouse in Lima, Peru, and be the fuck out of here.
There you go.
Yeah, if it's so bad.
Yep.
And I like it every election year. If so-and-so gets in, I'm moving. But they never do.
No, they never do.
They never do. Kev,
yes.
I got a question. I thought there would be a limit on the number of times. I just got another jury duty summons.
I thought you could only get one of those every 5 years.
I just got one 18 months ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. They want you bad.
I don't know what the deal is.
Oh, wait a minute. One could be for the city and one could be for the county.
Okay.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I did a civil suit 18 months ago. I was in a civil suit situation.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, of course, everybody's trying to get out of it.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, even one guy told the judge, hey, I was charged with a felony. You know, can I? And the judge was like, well, were you convicted? And the guy said, no, but I did it. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, double jeopardy. You can't be recharged. Or can't
this guy would rather do hard time than 4 days on a fucking civil suit. Yeah. I'm like, wow, man. You know, and I was thinking about that too. They going to jail. Would jail be like that bad at our age? I mean, 3 hot meals, lots of naps, nobody bothering you. And, you know, Kev, we're at an age where the rape probability is probably much lower now.
Yeah, but the stab probability is still there. The shanking probability
is still there. The shank probability is still up there.
Yeah, maybe even more so because they don't think I'm going to fight back, or you might not fight back, but you would. I know you would.
Oh yeah, I can't like let somebody beat me up.
Yeah, no, you would probably step in for other people too.
I know. I have that stupid gene where I just where I just have to jump in and help out. Made most famous by the grocery store confrontation many years ago. You know about this one.
Oh, but you please share. again for me. It'll be again for me.
I'm walking down the cereal aisle. I'm looking to get my Cookie Crisp because they're so delicious. And I see a couple angry at each other, and they're getting really, really heated in terms of an argument. And I don't know what the argument was about. I didn't know whether, maybe one of them was Fruit Loops and the other one was Apple Jacks. I don't know what the fucking problem was. All I saw is suddenly out of nowhere, he gives her a backhand slap across the face. Man. And I'm just like, you motherfucker. He did it right in front of me too. And he looked at me while he was doing it. And I'm just like, oh, dude, you motherfucker, man. So I immediately go over there, man. I go over there. Like I did you remember Terminator 2, Robert Patrick as the liquid Terminator and the way he walked towards you.
Uh-huh.
That was my walk towards this guy. And he knew he was in some trouble. And I grabbed him by the shirt. I lifted him up off the fucking ground, man. And I pinned him against, the shelves.
Yeah.
And I said, are you fucking kidding me? Don't you ever, ever raise your hand to a woman again. Suddenly, she's slapping me, punching me, and throwing stuff from her cart at me. And I'm like, what are you doing? Are you kidding me? And she said, leave him alone. Leave him alone. And then, obviously the ruckus had filtered out to the manager's area or whatever, because the manager starts coming towards me. And he's like, hey, you'll have to leave. You'll have to me.
To you?
To me, you'll have to leave. I was like, are you kidding me? Do you guys not know what's going on here? And I'm telling the manager, I'm like, pull your security tape, man. This motherfucker just, look, she's bleeding. She had a little blood.
Uh-huh.
Nothing. I had to leave the grocery store for standing up to a woman who just got her ass kicked.
Unbelievable.
Isn't that crazy?
That's an alternate universe.
It was so bizarro a world to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
At that time, my dad was still around.
Did you tell him about this?
Yeah.
And he said,
if you were going to be exited from the store, you should have just thrown one at him.
Really?
Yeah. He said, you probably should just hit one at him,
Yeah.
Just a quickie, like one of those quick ones, like one of those kind of like what the bad guy did to your teacher and you got blamed for.
Yeah. John Grabian. Yeah. Brought one up from Georgia right in her gut.
Just a quick one from the gut. Yeah, Kevin got blamed for hitting the teacher, and it was somebody else.
Almost got expelled.
He almost got expelled, and you didn't do it.
It was virtually impossible for me to do it because I was on the other side of the desk.
You have to tell this story.
Okay. Well, it was sophomore year of high school. Joyce Fowler was the teacher. John Grabian sat behind me, and she was bent over my desk teaching me something, and he gets up because the lunch bell just rings. He gets up, walks behind her, and as he's walking behind her, takes his left hand and jams it in her gut, just punches her in the gut and knocks the wind right out of her. Well, she looks at me and she goes, what did you do that for? I'm like, do what? And she catches her breath and she goes, you got to get down to the office. And I'm like, for what? Grabian's gone now. I mean, I'm the only one in the classroom. And she's like, you just punched me. And I'm like, no, I did not punch you. She goes, you're going down to the office. So takes me down to the office. And my principal says, explain what's going on. I'm getting wrongfully accused of punching my teacher, which I would never do. And he says, well, how did it happen? So I'm telling him that Grabian gets up behind me, walks behind Mrs. Fowler, and punches her with his left hand. I'm like, she's leaning over the desk. If I would have punched her, I could only punch her with my right hand to hit her in the place that got hit. She would see me coming up with that right hand. I'm like, there's no way I could have done it. So I take him back up to the classroom. I position him the way that she was positioned. I show him how it's virtually impossible for me to do it. And then I say, just stand there. And I get up and I walk behind the way John Grabian did. And I punch, I act like I'm punching him in the gut. And I'm like, see how he got away with it? He's like, you're absolutely right. And 2 hours later, Mr. Grabian was expelled.
Kevin, that is the funniest freaking thing. Because, he was trying to tell you about the magic fist theory.
Yeah.
And Kevin's going, hey, Senator Specter, your little theory's fucking ridiculous, okay? It's impossible.
And I got an apology from the teacher. And I also got a little gift from her. She said, I know how much you like baseball. And she goes, I want you to read this book. So she gives me the book, Shoeless Joe Jackson. And now I got to fucking read it. You know, like I'm thinking of
it was an assignment.
Yeah, right.
Here, thank you. Here's your assignment.
I know. Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. So, but
that's hilarious. Kev, I got to tell you this. There's a couple people who have wronged me.
Mm-hmm.
And I look them up, and bad things have happened to all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you fuck with Tim Tuttle, you're fucking with karma.
I got to ask you, your former nephew that punched you in the balls?
Yes.
I saw a picture of him the other day.
Yeah.
What's happening there?
To me, lenient parenting.
Okay. But is he full on transitioning?
I guess, yeah. I guess.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he had some mental issues. Yeah. He's always been.
Yeah, we never thought that would happen. We always thought he'd shoot a place up.
Oh yeah, I thought he would be a mass shooter.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's
He's a much more gentle way now.
I mean, it's one way or the other, right?
Yeah, right.
And I'm just like, I kind of saw that one coming. I mean, because he was, you know how you look at some people and you're like, okay, you're not all there.
Yes.
And that was definitely one from the beginning as a toddler.
Well, Tim's checking into a hotel and he comes up to him. I don't even know how old he was. He might have been 5 or 6. And he just
Kev, it was July. I'll never forget. It was July 4th.
I won't either.
July 4th, 2004. He's 3 years old. Audrey's 3 years old. We're checking into a hotel. We have connecting hotels. He's my nephew. His sister and my ex or his mom and my ex are sisters. And I'm moving the suitcases and everything. Suddenly, out of nowhere, he comes running up to me and just punches me in the nuts.
He didn't hold back either.
I'm like, you little motherfucker. I said, January 2019, you will turn 18. And guess who's going to be right there?
He did say that.
Uncle Tim.
Yep.
And I'm going to knock you the fuck out for what you just did right there. Which, of course, I didn't do.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't do. I mean, again, life, just look at him. I mean, just life, just.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't be able to do it because you got a penis now. I mean, I would assume. I saw the pictures.
Is that weird?
Hey, to each your own. That it's just something that I don't understand.
I don't either. And I guess I'm old and I don't get it. I mean, I just don't get it.
No, I've run a 100-mile race before with somebody who was transitioning, and we had a couple laps where we got to talk, and they talked about it freely, and they couldn't even explain it.
Yeah,
literally couldn't even explain it to me.
And let me, before you guys are, you younger viewers and listeners are like, oh, you guys are a bunch of boomers. Both Kevin and I are the least homophobic people or whatever that you would have, transphobic or whatever, that you would ever run into. We don't give a shit.
Oh, I prefer hanging out with gay people.
Exactly.
They're fun.
Kev, it's like, okay, you know that I live in a very diverse neighborhood.
Yes.
And, I got a neighbor who's a religious zealot from another country, and I'll let you guess the religion.
Okay.
We got a gay couple, two guys in the neighborhood, and they'll come to the pool and whatever. And here he is, he's doing some homophobic rant from his porch where they can hear it.
None of his business.
Exactly. And I actually walked over to him and I said, inappropriate. I know you can't, I was like, what you're doing is completely wrong. And I even told him, I said, hey, look, I said, that may be your religion, but to me, people who are homophobic, they're projecting. They're trying to throw people off their scent.
Okay, yeah. Oh no, that's happened before.
I've always felt that people are homophobic. They want to suck a dick so bad. And they know, from their peers and their family upbringing and their religion or whatever, that they can't do that. So they overcompensate to try to throw people over this. Oh no, he would never do that. Do you hear him going off on gay people and being homophobic? He would, which is it's exact opposite.
Yeah. That's been proven. You've seen news stories about ministers.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you're right. Gay people are hilarious. I love gay people.
Oh my God, dude. They're so much fun.
They don't care. Kev, even in the 90s, I'm watching My Best Friend's Wedding with Rupert Everett and Julia Roberts. And I'm screaming to the screen, more Rupert. This guy's hilarious.
Yeah.
I loved him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I kind of do like Norm Macdonald's take, though. You know the one I'm talking about?
I believe I do, yes.
Where he's like, hey, when I was a kid, I went to a big ticker tape parade with my dad, and it's Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong. He just got back from walking on the moon. And then I'm in New York City, and there's another parade. So, back when I was a kid, they'd have a parade for walking on the moon. Now they'll have a parade for sucking some cock.
Yeah.
That's so hilarious. Norma's, and Kevin, just another real quick note to the homophobics.
Yes.
Most of these gay guys, they take really good care of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They're in great shape. They're cut.
Yeah.
They work out like crazy. They're chiseled. They're handsome dudes. So they could probably, if they wanted to, take any hot single woman they wanted.
Oh, women love to hang out with gay men.
Yeah. I
do.
mean, homophobes should be thanking God that they're not into women, because it actually gives you somewhat of a shot.
Yes, it does.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, every time you hear a hot guy celebrity coming out of the closet, you should be celebrating.
Yeah.
Plus them being cut and ripped, they'll kick the shit out of you, man.
Yeah.
And then you're the homophobe, non-tolerant dude that got his ass kicked by a gay guy.
There you go. Try and live that one down.
Yeah. And that's what I was trying to hit at this religious zealot neighbor of mine is those dudes are so close. I mean, these are dudes that, they're cut. I'm like, they were so close to, they would literally wipe the floor with this guy.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing, dude. Welcome to America. Glad you're here, as long as you don't vote if you can't vote. But yeah, you got some learning to do, pal.
Yeah. Just keep that thought to yourself, man.
Kev,
yes.
We were talking about grocery store and my incident before. I had another grocery store incident on Friday. I walked out of the grocery store without paying for the bottom rack of stuff on the shopping cart.
Oh, common mistake.
On accident, complete accident.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it until I got home. I was like, shit, I did not pay for this stuff. And I looked at the receipt, double check, and I was like, no, she didn't get it. And then I felt kind of like a criminal. I was like a criminal because, looking back at the transaction, I'm having conversation with her, a nice back and forth, which could be construed as a distraction, that I was trying to distract her. So I'm just like, man, am I a criminal? Am I on the lam right now? I mean, I didn't go back. I'm not gonna, but I will go back and pay for it the next time I'm there.
Yeah.
Which will probably be either this Friday or next Friday. But I'm wondering, man, I'm like, could they be looking for me right now? I mean, could my picture be on their wanted wall or something?
No, no, it's not. But they could have docked her pay for the items.
Really? Do they do that?
I've known companies to do that. Yes, Trish used to tell me about that in retail all the time.
Oh no, I don't want that.
Well, I know you don't want it. That's why you're going to make it right next time you go up there.
Yeah, I didn't want to make
you were going to do that anyway.
Yeah, I didn't want to make an extra trip. I mean, I'll go up there eventually, either this week or next week. I'll say, hey, these items right here, I for some reason they weren't rung up last time I was here, and I want to pay for them.
Yes.
Okay.
Because that's the magnanimous thing to do. That's what you do.
And then thanks for telling me that, because I'll even specifically say, hey, did you like charge the cashier? Because you give her fucking money back right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just check on it and make sure, because there are some companies that will do that.
Yeah, I don't. It's like restaurants. If you run out on the check, a lot of waiters and waitresses have to pay for that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is terrible.
Absolutely. They're making dick 50 an hour, and then you got to charge them on top of that.
Oh yeah, that's to me that's the most evil shit.
Yeah.
Is walking out and
Yep.
Because let's face it, the waiters and waitresses not treated well on 99.9% of the restaurant establishments.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think it's awesome that President Trump is going to make their tips tax-free.
I never understood that anyway, because if you're tipping them cash, who's to say what you tipped them and what,
It would have the income tax in itself is illegal.
Oh my God, dude. I hate it.
It's illegal.
I hate taxes.
It is illegal and unconstitutional to tax income. It's just, we all go along with it. We sign the return. There are people who don't do it and just say, hey, it's illegal, I won't do it. And they get away with it.
Well, okay, so I'm in the market to buy a car right now. And why are they going to tax me for buying a car? Why are they taxing me to own a house?
Yes. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
And now they want unrealized gains.
Yes, I saw that.
Like
explain what those are.
Okay, like you own a bunch of stock. And it's worth this much now, even though you haven't cashed out. They want to charge you for the profit that you haven't taken yet.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is Kev. They are begging for a revolution. They are begging. I mean, this is getting Boston Tea Party to the nth power now.
Yeah,
it's almost like I think they want it.
I mean, think about this. The Boston Tea Party was a tax on tea.
Tea.
Yeah, that was it. That's what spurred it.
Look at everything they fuck us in the ass on now.
Oh my God, it's so bad.
It is so bad. I just, that's my only conclusion is they're like, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
We got enough drones and robot dogs. We're going to take you.
Uh-huh.
And all I would say is we don't want that, but are you sure you do? Because once you do that, there's no turning back.
No turning back at all.
All right, let Gav. We don't want to go down that tangent again. There, I'm trying to keep it cool.
Just an observation we're making. Just an observation.
Again, we don't solicit and call for anything. We're just observers. We're historians and know history, and we're observers, and we know how human behavior is. And all I'm saying is going a little too far.
Hey, let me ask you this, because as long as we're talking a little bit of taxation here, let me ask you this. A dear friend of ours was over at the house yesterday. She's an educator. She's a teacher. Okay. They don't have enough teachers in their school, not the school system, in their school. Okay. Because 4 teachers have already quit this year because the students are unruly and, your hands are tied as to what you can do. The superintendent came over the other day and asked, what can be done? They said, can you hire 4 more people? He's like, no, we can't. We don't have the money, but we are asking for a bond issue on this upcoming election. And we're going to use that $4 million, if it passes, to build 3 new football stadiums. I mean, what is going on there?
It's just ridiculous.
Isn't the education more important than what's going on the football field? And you don't have enough staff to make kids smarter?
It's not. Everything's completely out of whack. I mean, the public school system is ridiculous. Eventually, that'll have to just be completely overhauled or just disbanded. You don't need it anymore. All it is brainwashing now.
Well, but if you don't have enough staff for the kids, who's teaching them?
Exactly.
Who's teaching them?
They don't give a fuck. It's all about money.
And you have somebody here that wants to be a teacher, but who can't because I don't have a bachelor's degree. I mean, I want to, and I don't care what they pay me. I can suffer the $30,000 a year that they get paid, the measly money that they get paid. I can suffer that because I don't need it. I just want to be in a classroom. They won't let me.
Well, you know what, Kev? That's their loss. And I don't think, Kev, they give a fuck about you enriching minds either. That's not it.
Nah, probably not.
Friday Night Lights and how much can we eke out of the taxpayers?
There you go.
That's all that matters. All right, Kev, you got the top 3 this week.
Just when you thought they couldn't count any higher, it's Tuttle Kline's top 3.
So I was watching Sunday Night Football last night, and I absolutely abhor, I detest, I hate the Carrie Underwood song. I can't stand it. I literally have never liked that song. So it got me wondering, because they make a big deal out of it. What are the top 3 TV theme songs of all time?
Oh, I like that. Well, Kev, you know I'm a big fan of Fall Guy.
I knew you were going to go there.
And Lee Majors. Lee Majors' rendition is really good. But I got to give the ups to the, updated because of the new movie with Ryan Gosling. Blake Shelton killed it.
Well, I'm not the kind to run and hide when I come close to danger.
Okay.
So, the Fall Guy, and Kev, and you know this one too, the A-Team. I love the A-Team theme.
Nice.
I mean, that's to me, that right there automatically perks up memories of youth and just gets me all jacked up.
Sure.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay.
Awesome.
And Kev, finally, I'll have to go with the TV theme songs. I want to do this one right. Kev, Magnum PI.
Okay. All right.
Magnum PI has a really good theme song that I love. And I know on this one, I'm going to have some theme song regret.
Yeah, I thought we would have 2 on the same.
What did you have?
Well, Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, shit!
Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm.
Shit!
Yeah. The original Monday Night Football.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, my God, that's a great one.
And then I looked up a list this morning because this would have been on my list anyway, but of the top 100 theme songs of TV shows of all time, this was number 1.
Well, we're moving on now to the east side.
To a deluxe apartment in the sky. Moving on. I love it, Kev. And that every time I hear that song, I remember 1996 when we're starting out in radio, and George Jefferson himself, Sherman Hemsley. Is that it? Hemsley?
Sherman Hemsley.
Walked into our studio and he had that little Sherman strut. And I was like, this is the coolest shit ever.
Yeah. George Jefferson right there with us.
What was he pushing that day? I can't even remember. Did he have a comedy show or something like that?
I don't even remember. I just remember we were lucky.
We were lucky. We had Sherman Hemsley. We had George Jefferson.
And he was cool as shit.
In our first 6-8 months on the radio.
Yeah. And he was super cool. We were like, man, if all celebrities are like this, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. And Kevin, then after that, we had Don King. I mean, we were rolling, baby.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Okay. That's a great theme song too, man. Moving on up. And did you know that Roxy Roker is Lenny Kravitz's mom?
Yep. She played Helen Willis.
Yeah. She played Helen Willis. And dang, man, that's classic stuff. Kev, and I'm going to bookmark it. I have access to every episode of The Jeffersons and All in the Family.
Really?
And I may have to hit that soon. I may have to.
Because The Jeffersons was a spinoff. The Jeffersons was a spinoff of All in the Family, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was nothing. Now, of course, I was too young to remember, but I caught it all in rerun.
Uh-huh.
I mean, George Jefferson and Archie Bunker, that was great shit.
Dude, you couldn't do it today.
Oh, you can't do that.
Couldn't do it today.
Everybody's a hypersensitive pussy looking to cancel people. Yeah, you could not do that today. But back in the day, it was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay, Kev, I just kind of gave a hint at maybe an upcoming rabbit hole that I may go in. Let's talk about the rabbit holes that we got caught in this past week.
Rabbit hole of the week.
Go ahead.
Oh, cars. I'm researching cars.
Yeah. You getting a Corvette?
Let me tell you how badass my wife is, Timmy T. Okay? So we're moving into a new house tomorrow. All right. By the time this comes out, we'll be closed on a new house. We also need a new car. Not a new. We're going to keep the same one we got. She loves it, but it's approaching 100,000 miles, and I'm thinking we need two cars. You know, so she's like, "Well, what do you want to get?" I'm like, "I don't know. Whatever. You know, I just want to get something that's cool, that's highly rated." She goes, "Well, why don't you get your dream car?" I'm like, because we don't need it. She's like, "No, I know we don't need it. We don't need another car." She says, "But you should get your dream car." My dream car is a Corvette. My favorite American car ever made was a Corvette. And I love the mid-engine Corvette. So any year from 2020 to now would work. And so I've found a couple. She actually found the first one. She sent it to me. She goes, "You should get this one." How badass is my wife? And she goes, "Oh, and we can just pay cash for it."
Yeah, that is amazing.
Isn't it? She's pushing me to get a $70,000 vehicle.
Kev, that's to me, that's what you want right there.
Yeah. And I'm the one that's hemming and hawing going, I don't know if we need it. It's not really practical.
Shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
What color are you going to get?
Well, I've ranked my favorite color is rapid blue. It's the kind of light blue, sort of neon blue sort of looking thing. And I found a couple, but they're all 1LTs, and I want at least a 2LT, but preferably a 3LT. Because the difference in those is that the 2LT and the 3LT, well, 3LT is top of the line Stingray, but the 2LT comes with heated and ventilated seats, heated and cooling seats, and it also comes with the Targa top, which is the clear glass.
That's going to be so sweet.
Yeah, but I found a silver one this morning that's in my price range, under 5,000 miles. So
let me tell you this. First off, Kevin, I drove a 2021. I test drove one.
Mm-hmm.
It's sweet.
Is it?
The power is ridiculous.
Yeah, almost 500 horsepower.
It's ridiculous, and I love it. And I know a lot of people are listening or watching and thinking, "Oh my God, Kevin, please don't get one. You're going to wrap it around the tree and you're going to die. And then this stupid podcast will just be the Tuttle podcast and it'll suck because there'll be nobody there to keep him in line." Kevin,
like I do that anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
nobody keeps Tim Tuttle in line.
Look how badly he's failed. I'm banned from social media.
Yeah.
Kevin will not be doing anything over the speed limit. He just doesn't do it. He's a ground law.
Which again, kind of is like, why do you need that car, Kline? Because I'm not going to push it. I'm definitely not. It's never going to reach its potential with me.
Just pulling in the parking lot, people will be like, "There's an awesome car right there. That guy's got the shit," and they won't be thinking about his tiny penis.
No, they will be. Oh my God, that guy's got the smallest dick in the world. He had to go out at 55 years of age and get a midlife crisis car. He's got a small dick.
Totally, Kev. You are completely just going stereotype right now.
I know. And I don't know if I want to do that because it's not about that with me. I have, Tim, when I was in middle school, all through high school, I mean, this is the dumbest thing in the world. I would be pulled up next to a car, a Corvette, and I would blow a kiss to it. I fucking love that car. I've always loved that car.
Kev, here's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Forget about the Corvette. Get a Prius and then wrap a cucumber in aluminum foil like the guys on Spinal Tap.
There you go. Yeah.
And then they'll be like, "Wow, look at this guy. He's got a fucking little pussy ass car, but look at that huge cock."
So what's your rabbit hole, sir?
You're going to laugh, man, because you're going to be like, "Not you." No. I watched pretty much back to back to back all three of the updated new versions of Star Trek movies.
Who are you?
This is so shocked. Dallas is shocked. Dallas is absolutely shocked. My kids are shocked. They're like, "Star Trek? Dad?" Let me give you a little background. My sister was a huge fan of Star Trek growing up, and she was a lot bigger than me. So I could be sitting there watching baseball or watching a football game or whatever, and she would just come in and turn the TV on Star Trek, and I'm fucked. And so I always had a hatred for Star Trek.
It's a trigger. Yeah, it's a mental trigger.
always was a trigger for me, mental trigger. And plus, it was a little geeky for my taste.
Uh-huh.
I saw a trailer last week and I was like, you know what? Chris Pine, I always like Chris Pine. I think he's a good actor. He's one of those guys. And I think Zachary Quinto, who played Spock, great actor too. And I didn't even know it. But the guy who played Chekhov, and I'm forgetting his name, the guy who played Chekhov on these shows, he was the guy, Kev, back in 2015, I think it was, that had that weird accident where his Jeep rolled over on him on his gate and crushed him.
Oh
Anton, what is his name? Anton, whatever. He was he was in the movie Alpha Dog. He played the stolen boy in Alpha Dog, and I'm forgetting his name. I'm so sorry, Kev. Anton, and it's a Russian name because his parents are Russian. But, I always thought he was a great actor too. And of course, I always thought Zoe Saldana?
Yes, Zoe Saldana.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Gorgeous woman. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot. So I watched the first one. I was like, oh my God, this is a great movie. J.J. Abrams killed it.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Oh my God, he killed it. And I was like, I have to watch the next one. And then it just kept going.
Wow.
So I watched like 7.5 hours of Star Trek movies in about a 2.5 day period of time.
Nice, buddy.
And I was into it.
You going to graduate to Lord of the Rings?
Hell no. I can't. And I like that one. What's that one actor with the little butt chin?
Well,
Viggo.
Who?
Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah,
I like him.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah.
I like him, but it's, I can't do that. I can't do Lord of the Rings.
Which is interesting to me because Led Zeppelin sings about Mordor.
I know, man. There's a lot of cross over there, but I can't. I can't see myself do nothing personal.
Yeah, no.
I mean, if that's your thing, it's just I think I really, really went out on a limb with this Star Trek.
Yeah.
And I'd almost be afraid of what I would become if I started getting into it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, can't do it.
Still on the back burner. Way back burner.
All right, Kev, we got just enough time to do our weekly feature of Be Honest.
Be honest. Be honest.
I have one for you.
Okay.
All right. You have to make an immediate decision or you die. Here's your choice. Which one would you give up? Coffee or sex?
Wow. Wow, dude, that is just, I mean, for most of these, like 99% of these, I have an immediate answer. It's obvious.
Mm-hmm. How well do I know my radio partner?
I mean, I love espresso.
I know.
Straight espresso. I mean, that's my jam, man. Look, that was a double when we started. It's gone. God, and I love sex too. But I've had a lot of good sex with a lot of beautiful women, or a few beautiful women. Not a total whore. That Kev, yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
You know what?
Can I still jerk off?
No, in all forms. Sex in all forms.
I cannot ejaculate.
No. Sex in all forms or coffee.
Okay, I give up coffee then.
Oh my God.
I
did not think that.
I think it is really unhealthy to not, throw a batch every so often.
Throw a batch.
I think that is not good for you.
Okay.
So
right.
I think that, and I know that you're the guy who, does not ejaculate, does not masturbate, does not, have a sexual relationship with his wife. And look at you, you're all fucked in the head.
Yeah, there it is.
I mean, I would almost like completely advise you, Kev, you have to just, bust one out. But I'd be afraid of the PSI that you would generate from that shot.
No, it wouldn't be, because if you know, the prostate needs to be worked out every once in a while in order to remain its potent self. Well, guess what? Mine ain't been worked out in years.
I could just see seismologists going, "We just had a disturbance in central Missouri." Is it an earthquake? No, Kevin Kline just jerked off.
And this is going to be a clip on the Instagram, so we're banned now. Community standards, forget it.
Yeah, fuck your community standard.
I just, the personal satisfaction I got with stumping you and making you think, that was better than any answer you would have given.
Yeah, and I don't, mine are not that, my be honest, are not that good. And I got to start thinking that way. like mine is, if you see someone leaving their car engine running to run into a store, don't you just want to jump in their car and park it somewhere just to fuck with them?
Knowing myself, I wouldn't even think about that. But now that you bring it up, that would be a really funny thing to do.
Kev, it's happened 3 times over the past 5 or 6 weeks that I'll just, I'll either be getting gas or I'll just have, parked, and now I'm walking up to the store and people will just go right up there, get out of their running vehicle, run in. I'm just like, God, I want to do that so bad.
Well, they deserve it.
Oh, I just want to so bad.
Yeah.
But the only reason I don't is like, it can be misconstrued. And, next thing you know, you're facing grand theft auto charge.
Right. Yeah, no, you very well could be. But again, they deserve it.
I just so want to just take it and just park it very end of the parking lot, leave it running, and then just walk out. But the only problem is that 15 seconds it takes you to get it to the parking space, you're eligible for a grand theft auto charge.
That's right.
And just imagine how funny that would be, the video of that, of them walking out of the store just freaking out.
Oh, hell yeah.
Freaking out.
Yeah.
And then you be the guy to walk up to him and go, yeah, it was weird. Do you have a kit car or one of those self-driving cars? Because as soon as you went into the store, it got into gear and just started rolling around.
Nuts.
Would that be hilarious?
That would be. Yep. See somebody freaking out of their own stupidity.
Oh, Kev, I got to be honest. That's something that intrigues me and something that I'm. And I may end up doing it someday, and I may have to call you up to bail me out of prison.
Yeah, Klein, I did the prank. Yeah, they got me.
I got a grand theft auto charge. So the shit that Facebook and IG did to me is nothing.
Yeah, right. Nice.
Kev, what should I do about it? I mean, I have no inkling to get back on it at all. I just don't.
Then don't.
I just don't. I mean, to me, my focus in life: be a good dad, be a good trader, have fun doing this podcast. And
trader, not traitor. Trader.
Oh, trader. Yeah, trader. I'm a future trader.
I want to be a good trader.
No, no, Benedict Arnold, not that.
Yeah.
Nah, the Warren Buffett / Paul Tudor Jones, that kind of trader, not the Benedict Arnold, Brett Favre.
Right. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll still never forgive him for going to the Vikings.
Dude, how about him with announcing Parkinson's disease?
Yeah, Kev, I told you about that. His daughter and my daughter played in volleyball tournaments in the same locations together, and I saw him one day, and it just did not look like he was all there.
He's not, dude. He even admitted it in front of Congress that he had 5 concussions in one game. Still played.
And you just know that's going to catch up to you.
Well, it is. I mean, Jesus, if there was anybody who was going to be fast-tracked with Parkinson's, he would be it.
And Kev, and might as well talk about this then, since we're there, is Tua has put the NFL in the worst possible position that they could possibly be in, right?
Yeah, Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins.
That's his 4th concussion.
Mm-hmm.
That's the 2nd time he did that really disturbing fencing.
Yeah.
What do they call it? The fencing pose or whatever?
The fencing pose, yeah. You just stiffen.
Yeah. And, and now with CTE being such a huge thing in the NFL, I mean, let's face it, for the rest of his life, the public will be watching Tua.
Oh, absolutely.
Because are those not the highest profile concussion situations we've ever had?
Uh-huh.
And the NFL's probably behind the scenes. Do you think behind the scenes they're just like, hey, man, please retire?
Oh, of course they are. Of course they are.
Please walk away. I mean, I know the Dolphins will take a good chunk of your signing bonus that you just they gave him $45 million as a signing bonus a few months ago.
Uh-huh.
But they probably would cut him a little bit of a deal just to go away.
Well, but didn't they give him a guaranteed contract for 4 years?
Well, there's one of the ways out for the Dolphins, I heard, is the concussion thing.
Oh, okay. So they do have an out. All right.
They have an out.
I mean, dude played 2 games.
Yeah, they have an out. And not only that is what he's already had in hand, what he already has in hand is most of that would come back to him, the signing bonus.
Yeah. Okay.
So somebody did the figuring that if Tua walked away today and the Dolphins, voided the contract and took back a chunk of the signing bonus, he would have about $35 million that he has made in the NFL, which should be enough to live a comfortable life forever.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how he has spent it in his first few years. I don't see him as the big, I got to buy 10 cars, 4 houses, 1 for my mama, 3 for me. I don't see him as that type of guy, but we don't know.
Well, I don't know much about him. I know he went to Alabama. I know that he's a left-handed quarterback. I've never heard him speak. Is he intelligent? Because if he is, he could go in the booth and make $375 million over 10 years. Because Tom Brady, dude, man, that guy is not a great broadcaster.
Kev, he is not only intelligent, he is one of the most well-liked NFL players ever. Dude, everybody loves Tua. He's one of those guys that anybody that runs into, he's the nicest guy, great family, not pretentious at all. He could easily mop up, but you got to have the brain to do it.
Uh-huh.
And right now, man, you are on the clock.
Yeah, I want to see him retire because, geez, man, 4 big ones like that.
I would hate to see what happened next. And if he does have another one, but here's the thing is the NFL can't stop him from playing. He would just sue the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
He would just be like, you cannot stop me from, I'm a warrior. I make that decision on my own. Mm-hmm. You can't do that for me, NFL. If there's a team willing to sign me, I don't know. But could the NFL put it together that, with the 32 teams, a consortium where, hey, nobody plays this guy or signs this guy?
Well, that would be collusion, and there's claims that that's what they did against Kaepernick, and we've already seen kind of what they did, what Brian Flores did when he was the head coach of Miami, suing for racial discrimination because they let him go. He won that case, by the way. I don't. He would have to be signed if somebody wants to sign him.
Yeah, I just, Kev, that is the stickiest thing, man. Because if something really bad happened to Tua, let's say another concussion, and then 5 years from now, in his late 20s, early 30s, or whatever, he starts going crazy, or it's something you had a crazy story about him. People are just going to be like, "What are you doing, NFL? Letting him play?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know. Yeah. No, I don't know how many times I saw the commercial yesterday about the advancements they've made in helmets.
Yeah.
That ad showed like 3 or 4 times yesterday. I saw.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, the NFL could end up being a flag football league.
It is with the quarterback now.
It is. That is ridiculous.
Yep.
That is ridiculous that you can't. I told you that before. As I'm teaching Dallas, who's plays defensive end, how to tackle, and I'm showing him, great video of old school hits, and I'm like, oh, but by the way, you can't do that.
Yeah, you can't blow anybody up anymore.
You cannot blow anybody up. They're defenseless, quote unquote, even though they're not.
Right.
They got pads all over them, and they know what they've gotten into. So,
yeah.
So, all right, Kevin, this has been a blast. I've had a good time with you yet again.
Same here, buddy.
Is there anything we're forgetting?
No, I don't think so. We actually stuck to the battle plan today, kind of.
Little bit. little bit. Hey, do us a favor. Seriously, we talked about it earlier. Do us a favor. Follow us on Instagram. Again, the Tuttle and Kline Instagram may be the only place you ever even hear from me again. Or the Tuttle and Kline Facebook, and Kevin's wife, Trish, has some great merchandise there. We'd love for you to buy our merchandise. Subscribe, give us a rating, make sure you download our stuff. Kevin Kline, what do you have coming up on the world famous Fuzzy Mike podcast, your other side hustle?
This is the week that we get to talk to Todd Blyleven. And I've already had the conversation. We recorded it last week. Tim, you're going to love it, man. This guy is so cool. Burt Blyleven's son. Burt is a Hall of Famer pitcher. And Todd actually played a little bit of pro ball. But his big, the reason why I'm talking to him is because he gave himself PTSD by going in to the Route 91 Music Festival and rescuing 30 people from that mass shooting. He carried 3 people that were dead out to the street, and then carried 27 who were massively wounded. And he still hasn't recovered.
I cannot wait to see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I cannot. I watch it on YouTube, but you can get it on all of the platforms. The Fuzzy Mike podcast. Kevin Kline does a really, really great job delving into not only true crime but mental health and how to combat it. And it's a really, really good podcast. If you get a chance to check it out, Kev.
Yes.
I'm done.
Okay.
I've got another Star Trek movie that I need to watch.
And more community standards to offend.
Yes, more community standards to offend. I have no idea what I fucking did. You are gods, though. Thanks, Zuck. Motherfucker.
That's it for this episode of the Tuttle and Kline Show. See you this Wednesday for an all-new episode. And you can get more Kline on his podcast, The Fuzzy Mike, with new episodes on Tuesday. Stay fuzzy, friends. And thanks for listening to the Tuttle and Kline Show. Yo. All right, take the yo out.